to see it because our equipment just isn't strong enough. We can't look down that far. It's too fast and too small to ever be seen. We're going to call it a particle. Is that correct?
That's a fair summation of contemporary thought. Yes.
Okay. Okay, well, so this is thought. You can't see this. Forget you're seeing this. You're not seeing this. You're seeing this. You can't see this. It's too small and too fast to be seen. You're seeing it. It's a regular solid. The only difference is in the rules of platonic solids, and there's regular solids and there's platonic solids. Platonic solids have to have straight lines. Platonic solids, and I know people hate science and geometry, and I did at any rate, but if anyone is just bored, just pick something up, throw it my way. This is considered the smallest regular solid, tetrahedron. All the sides, faces are the same. And it encloses space. And they say nothing can be smaller than this. But from playing with these toys for 40 years, I found that this makes everything else. That this is this, the way we perceive it. But if we were able to get down into that really small, where the molecules are actually moving, and we're able to see the morphing of the geometry from one shape to another shape, to one shape, to another shape, to one shape, to another shape, then we'd see that this looks like this. And it also looks like this. They're all tetrahedrons. This is a tetrahedron with the lines, because the trion rays turn. And as they turn, you get a different configuration. When you go to my website and you look at the video, it'll show you exactly how it weaves a weaves a multi-dimensional loom. Not a two-dimensional loom, a shuttlecock with a whiff and a waff, but a shuttlecock with whiff, waff, waff, woof, woof, and a wow. Moving in 12 different dimensions. Because the core of a sphere is an icosahedron. This is an icosatrine because all the things are going in. An icosatrex, it would be going out. An icosahedron would be all straight lines to the points. But things in its basic, please, you can look at anything, touch nothing, please. Sir, David, put it back. If you knew what I had to do to make that,
I was thinking
you would feel terrible. I would kill you. I would feel worse. You'd say, I'm sorry. I'd say, get the fuck out. It's okay.
I made the mistake. Okay. We all have.
It's okay. It's okay. So what I realized was that and I had to call it something because no one ever called it anything, because no one ever described it before. This would be considered a straight line if you took it down all the way to how many zeros? 43?
42.
All right, so if we took this down to that size, this would look like just 2 points and a straight line between the 2 points.
Right. It's basically like almost like a hidden dimension.
Yeah.
You look at a garden hose from far enough away, it looks like a line. You look at it closely, all of a sudden it becomes a three-dimensional cylinder.
Correct. Well, this is going to the basic element. So, what I realized was that this was the shape of an individual quanta of light. I realized that light was the basic structure of the universe. And to prove that even further, think about having this discussion if there wasn't light. We wouldn't be having this discussion. Nothing would exist. What is the elemental thing that makes everything else? Light. And it's not a line or a field or a two-dimensional object. It's a solid. It's a container. I'm not sure if when they were talking about the ark, if they were talking about an ark of wood or an ark of light that came forth all the beings on the planet. Because inside, if light is a solid, then it can hold a thought. And when we all know, from Carl Sagan to this moment, we all been told that everything is connected in some sort of ethereal kind of way. Well, think of this of light, weaving and weaving and weaving from the 42 zeros, 0.1 points, so small that you can't see it, sort of like weaving fairy dust. We're describing the structure of the finest silk would be hard compared to how fine, more like the mist when getting out of a hot tub in Aspen in the wintertime. Sort of follows you behind you. Well, that's the structures, the fineness. Even finer than that, because those zeros, that isn't even halfway to all those zeros. We're going down to the place that science tells you cannot be seen or described. It's theoretical and will remain that way. So you can understand why it would be very difficult to have a conversation with a person like me that's saying, no. It's not theoretical. It's not too small to be seen. It's not too fast that it can't be slowed down. Here it is, the one thing. And I've tried to show how light weaves in the trions. I call this a trion ray, by the way. And in the latest issue of Scientific American, they have a thing called the preon. Have you heard anything about the preon?
Yeah.
Well, I wrote the trion long time ago already. And they just came up in Scientific American with the preon. So, this is the basis of what I do. And for the last 40 years, playing with these Tinker Toy sets that I had to make and manufacture so I could play with them, I began to develop a new set of building blocks. And every time I would create a structure, it would be a structure that had never been described before. I was in New York City at the toy show, because I sold this as a toy. And you've ever heard of Edmund Scientific? You ever bought any equipment from Edmund?
No.
They're a big catalog house, been around for hundreds of years, thousands of years, millions of years. Edmund Scientific. You get all the surplus microscopes and different things and tubes and whatever. So Mr. Edmund comes up to my booth and he's looking at that structure right there. The white one right there. He said, well, what do you... No, the one's a space cluster. The one with...
The one hanging from the ceiling?
Yeah, that one right there. He said, well, what do you call that structure? I've never seen a geometric structure described like that. And that's when I realized that everything that you see in this room, I had to come up with a name. Because it didn't exist in the record. And then I went online later, many years later, looking up, trying to find images. Particle physics, images. And constantly going through trying to find anything that would resemble this particular particular configurations.
So, Mike, maybe we should...
Start the show?
Yeah. Sorry.
He's a good friend. he lets me know I get really full of myself. So. And I don't get a chance to talk to people much. It's kind of, I'm behind the gate mostly. They don't let me out. Are we ready? Now, what did I say? What did I say? Was there anything there that I said?
Well,
let's leave that discussion for afterwards.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, afterwards.
All right. I'll collect my thoughts.
Collect your thoughts.
Don't get Jesse.
Because we're going to quiz you.
I'll go the same way as Mike. We'll both talk forever and ever.
Good. We can have a lot of fun listening to ourselves. All right.
I'm sure we share that as a favorite.
There's another chair right up front. You want to grab it, David? Sure. Right there. Let's see.
Yeah, that's the best.
You sit in the front and they ask questions.
All right.
Jesse.
Are we ready to blast off?
We ask the questions because you're the
All right, this is going to be really quick and fast, folks. Anyone get motion sickness? Because now's the time. Let me know. I get a bag. All right. There we are.
I think I see a tetrahedron.
Tetrahedron.
Hedron.
Now, if you want to see how light moves, we build houses and we have 90-degree angles, and so when you have 90-degree angles, you have cutoffs. Nature does not work with cutoffs. Nature works with curves. And as you can see, the way the light moves on the structure, there's no cutoffs. Everything merges into everything else, so it's a totally efficient way to construct a self-organizing matrix.
So the light was going through the. I'm sorry.
What's that?
What was we saw in the upper left-hand side?
Up there doesn't mean anything. When I have a bigger room, you won't even see that. That's just the afterglow. All right, that's good. There's one thing I wanted to show you on light, and now's a good time to do it. Now, I found the Tryon Ray. I didn't know the Tryon Ray was there. I didn't set out to find anything, actually. I just sat down and started to play. So there was really no prior thought of what we were going to do or how we were going to do it or anything like that. Where's my laser? Where's my hand laser? Okay. So, like I said, I didn't know that this Tryon Ray, this smallest regular polyhedron, even existed. But after I had made it out of a lens, and I took a laser, and I want to show you, I'm shooting the laser that way. Watch what happens. Comes out the other side. And if I took another one and put it next to it, it would follow into the next one. That's how light does it. That's how it
do it over here.
propagates.
Do it on this one.
It pulses. Boom, boom, boom. And it spins, so it creates a radiation, a field, a magnetic field, and things attached to it. It's spinning and pulsing, and they're all connected together. Whole universe. The whole universe is moving like that. Light. All right. All right, let's take it someplace. would like everyone to stand up. Do not turn around. Keep watching towards the front. Now I'm going to place you in different places. I want the smallest person this way. Come this way. I want you right here. Tallest, move forward. Move forward, forward. Shortest, come back. You're tall. Come back. Don't turn around. Come walk backwards. We got you. Okay. Get in line. Don't turn around. Straight line. Do not turn around until I say. Please move forward towards everyone. Move forward a little bit. Okay. All right. Turn around.
Oh my gosh.
Solid.
Oh, what is that?
Everyone will get a chance to be in front.
Can I move? Oh.
Okay, everyone move towards Sean.
Right here, I'll have my hand out.
Yeah, great. Next, move up into the center of the light, please.
Okay, have my hands out.
Towards Sean. You can open that door maybe. And
Okay.
Step out. This is just the smoke and mirrors part.